Hey guys, crew of Blind Wave back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
And we're back with Haikyuu to finish the match between Nekoma and Niobe.
Nohebi?
Nohebi. The loser's bracket. This is Nekoma's last chance to get to nationals. So they can recreate the famous fight of crow versus cat.
Mm-hmm. And this is like part 2 of the last OVA, kind of? Land versus Air?
Yeah, this is the last OVA we're watching, and then we're getting straight into season 4.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
Let's go!
What are seeds? I know you've explained this to me before.
Seeds?
Yeah.
So the way it normally works is the highest seed fights the lowest seed at the beginning of the tournament. So if you are the first seed and there are 32 teams, the first seed would fight the 32nd seed. So in theory, you would, like, your progress through the season would be rewarded because you should have the easiest matchups. That's how seeds normally work. Now, since there's 3 here, I imagine Itachiyama is probably getting a bye, so they won't fight the first round.
What does the venue sponsor representative mean? Does that mean they have a buy-in?
I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Maybe that means they're the winner of the loser's bracket, right?
Yeah, could be.
The officials of the game. They seem to be making good choices and such. I don't know why they brought in manipulating the game, but I can see if you've got the entire backcourt, having a guy at each corner makes sense because they can watch both the straightaways. But then for situations like that, I guess that's very special because they have the guy on both sides of the ball to block line of sight, right?
Yep.
You'd have to be really synchronized to get that to happen.
I mean, yeah, you just try it, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then you lost nothing.
Yeah, right? And you're not going to admit that, no, I actually saw it hit inside really obviously, because you just don't mention it. You just say, oh, woe is me.
Woe is me. Yeah. No, they'll just, they'll do whatever tactics it takes to win, and it almost worked for them. They were in their heads, and they really got to the other team, but they were able to pull together and come out with the win.
I support I support most of the trash talking. The only trash talking I think is kind of pointless is when you start shitting on the guy that just got injured.
Yeah, I mean that's
because there's no point of it. The guy's out. You don't have to be in his head.
I mean, yeah, you could be in the other players' heads, I guess. If you're being down on that guy, the other team might get extra mad at you, I suppose. But it's still not a great thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like you could get the same effect by just, attacking someone who's a viable target, maybe.
And injuries can happen to anyone. You could be the best player in the world and still
Yes, you can be the champion and you can still just land slightly wrong or someone's foot's in your way.
Now it's a lot safer than sumo. The crowds are a little far further back, but yeah, we still got someone's foot stepped on in this.
Yeah, but man, they hit the ground hard.
Well, we got season 4 coming up. I assume we're going to be concentrating on our boys again.
Yeah, but
we might also see the end of this for Nekoma as well, because this should have all been
happening at the same time.
Yeah, happening around the same time. I mean, we saw Hinata's text. Mm-hmm. So, they've already won. But this is their version of that.
Yeah, because Nekoma's in a different district.
Yeah.
So...
They're in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Nekoma?
I think so.
Or, Tokyo, I think, has a lot of them, right? They have, a lot of divisions.
They have I mean, it's just more people, so you're going to have a lot more competition.
Sure.
Just because you got more bodies to field. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of bodies to field, the bodies were hitting the floor at one point. I was surprised. It's 4 or 5 people just all on the bellies. It's great.
Yep, diving for the ball.
Everybody's so into it and excited and focused.
And motivated.
And I can't imagine what a terrific loss it would feel like if you had a player that never really became that team player. If you were the coach, you're trying to get all your guys to work together, and you have this one player who's like really freaking good, but he never quite gels with everybody else. He never quite becomes the team player that he could be. And he doesn't know what he's missing. And it's hard to get someone to take that step back from themselves in order to get to that. I imagine it just must feel so sad to see that person never get to feel the excitement of succeeding as a team in a team sport. Because it's one thing if it's all you, like one-on-one sort of battles, it's like, yes. Like most of us have experienced that sort of success in some way or another, where like whether with a video game or something like that, or just winning against something that you had to try real hard against, you feel really proud of just yourself. Like most of us have experienced that in some way. But to do it as a team is something that you don't always have access to. And to miss that opportunity seems like a real pity.
Yeah, I suppose. Like Lev is a little bit different of a case, I think, because like normally what I imagine would happen is like you're super talented at the sport, and so like whenever you're starting with your like local school stuff in middle school or in grade school or whatever, like you're just so much better that like you can't rely on the rest of the team because you're just so much better than them.
Oh yeah.
And like that probably happens again at the next level and again at the next level, and it's probably not until you get to like college in America at least where like now you have a bunch of the best people all congregating to the best sports schools.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're struggling because basically you've coasted through just on your talent and you've never had to like learn how to study.
Well, that and
it's like if you're a good test taker.
Like, yeah, like you've never been able to just rely on your team to come up to the same level as you. Yeah. And that might even continue on to like the professionals as well. Mm-hmm. Like, but no, it's good that Lev kind of got the lesson, now can utilize that because he's got a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah.
So like he really needs the team to be there with him, and now that he kind of understands how it all connects together, he should get a lot more successful.
And he's a first year, right? So he's got time to develop.
I think so.
Because they were talking about how green he was and such, and how good he was, even though he was just a first year, just like Hinata and everything.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if he's a transfer and that's why he's new, or if he is a first year. But
I was pretty sure he's a first year.
You're probably right.
But Kenma is always like so. He says the things that I think and don't say.
He's very anti-Hinata. Or like he's not excited about the game of volleyball at all. Like he isn't passionate. He isn't, he certainly doesn't show any of that. Whereas Hinata is kind of the opposite.
Well, just because like the threshold for like expressing your passion for him is like much higher than everybody else doesn't mean he's necessarily feeling less than them inside.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the coach said.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't really care if they win or lose. He just says things how they are.
Mm-hmm. And that would definitely be reassuring in a way that you wouldn't expect to need in the moment. I could definitely see. It's kind of like this person doesn't necessarily get you hyped, but when you're like down in the dumps and you're like, oh crap, they're like the steady as a rock person where it's like, no, we've still got a chance at that. And because they never really waver one way or the other, it's like, no, it's like if they're saying it, then it must be true.
Yeah, if the rest of the team are living and dying with every serve, like
having someone who's just steady and calm.
Having someone who's looking at it from the outside and being like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
We can pull through this.
So good. It makes me want to play volleyball.
Not too late.
Those kids must weigh like 130 pounds and it's just like all muscle. It would, if I were like playing against those guys, it would be like if Lev was playing with like Kenma just on his back like a backpack, just weighing him down. Besides, I don't really have the height that they do.
Could be the...
And I don't like kissing the floor as much as they do.
The libero.
I don't like kissing the floor. It's so hard.
Yeah. But no, the show good. Continues to get me hyped.
It's amazing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This this show does such an amazing job at getting you invested and loving all of the players on either side and seeing their struggles, and just, it's like every time there was a score, I was going like, yes, even if it was for the other team.
Sure.
And I'd like catch myself like, oh yeah, that was the other team, but it's still going, and it's still so exciting.
Nope, it's really cool.
And it's never too like overwhelming to the point where I'm just like too nervous about the outcome or something like that. So having like that sort of anxiety.
You were a few times.
I mean, a little bit, but like, I mean, that's what it seemed like from the outside. But dealing with that sort of like anxiety and watching a sports show can be kind of hard. But this show always somehow exposes you to it without making it too stressful.
Well, that's good.
I love it.
We have another season.
Yes!
Let's get to it. Thank you guys for watching our reaction to the OVAs for Haikyuu. We're coming back next week with season 4, so make sure you're subscribing so you can check that out as it comes, or you can head over to patreon.com/blindwave and watch the first 4 reactions to season 4 right now. Thanks, guys.